What up, YouTube? This is an updated video I made, or I'm making. The last one I did of my bike was 4 weeks ago, I believe. I've done 4 new mods since then. I don't know if you can see right off a rip, but first thing I did was, oh, not one of the first things, but one of the things I did was went ahead and changed the seat. Got that seat wrap, seat cowl from Yamaha. There's my fucking mechanic who hit me up back, but my motorcycle mechanic just texted me. He helped me install the seat. Gorgeous, man. I love the lines on it, how it just flows. These guys did a real good job on making that seat, man. I ordered it with the block of gel. Came in a tube, the wrap, and then a block of gel. The block you're gonna have to cut out of the original seat, out of the original foam, place in. Me and my mans, we did that. It was a learning experience. If you're gonna do it, suggest you get like a jigsaw knife or like one of those, butter knives, so you can just, a turkey knife, you can just slice through that bitch, because now you're gonna wind up doing a hack job and shoving fucking pieces back in to try to get it level like we did. But you learn from your mistakes, but overall it came out perfect. It feels great. The gel's in the inside. It came out real nice and tight. Wrapped it real tight, stapled it over and over, make sure everything was nice and tight, no creases, no nothing. Felt great. Went ahead and got the OEM seat, eliminated cowl. Guys, if you're gonna spend your money wisely. Know what you're gonna spend your money on. There's a lot of stuff that I spent on here that I bought a lot of cheap stuff, but they're well-made cheap stuff. Know that if you're gonna spend your money on stuff like this, get the OEM version, because the paint matches and the brackets are original and everything fits in. I've seen videos where dudes will open it and they're falling apart, spending 30, 40 bucks on a Chinese piece of shit when they could have spent the other 70 and got the original and with no headaches. So, like I said, that seat just flows beautifully with those lines. Very, very, very nice. And that right there, look how beautiful that looks. How it just matches and drops right in place. No hiccups, no nothing. So, also another thing is, I went ahead and I changed the throttle tube. Looked on the forums, went to Yamaha3racing.com, got the stock number, threw it on Google, came back Amazon, $25, free shipping. My man came over, put it in, fucking lot more better throttle response, especially in the corner when you go to kick back. I used to have to roll it to get, now it's just, and it goes. And one of the cats, Rhino Dan, was asking me about the levers. I gave him a link to them. When I bought them, they were like 23 bucks back earlier this year when I bought them back in January. And the only option was the red. Now, if you look in the description, you can get this in any other color with the same lever, which is dope. And I recommend these levers, guys. They were so cheap. And now, when I looked them up for Rhino Dan, they're $20.53 or something like that. Stupid cheap. So it was worth it. Those are worth it. And some of the other pieces, like I said, that were made in China that were worth it, like the body plug, that's worth it. This was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Being Chinese, even with this Kaufman exhaust, this is supposed to be see-through. I welded a plate, JB welded a plate that I spray painted red and placed it behind it to give it that pop. So, it's not just, the R3, and falling through. You can actually see it. It matches out with everything else. So, yeah. Also, another thing, guys, when I changed that spring, it raised the bike up. And being that it raised the bike up, when I went to put it down to the kickstand, it felt like the bike was falling down, because now the kickstand was shorter, because the bike being raised up. So I went ahead and I got this little kickstand, adapter. Helped out a lot. Just enough. It helped out just enough where it doesn't feel like the bike is falling down. But that's another one of the 4 items that I've changed in the last 4 weeks. That, the throttle tube, the seat, and the seat cowl, the OEM version. Now, like I said, there's certain Chinese parts that are worth spending the cheap dollars for, that come back, that are good, and there's some other things that you're gonna have to spend the money on to get that look and just get that fucking sexiness. Oh my god, that is so sexy. She's beautiful, guys. And one of the other thing, guys, I'm gonna let you know, 38 years old, first time rider, bought the bike back in December, had it sitting in my living room for 4 months, and in that 4-month time I purchased everything pretty much all at once. And I gave myself a hobby, gave myself something to do. Every day I come home, I add a new piece to the bike in the living room, because that's where my bike sits, in my living room. And every day I'd put something together on. Keep me active, keep me doing something, you know what I'm saying? Keep my mind going. And this was a great hobby to have. And then the final outcome was worth it. Look how sexy and beautiful she is. One thing, guys, that I'm going to do is, there's this company that makes this nut for the center nut with a ball. I ordered that. It's like 37 bucks. Got me an action camera. Start videoing my rides. As of right now, 24:21. And the last video I think I did was 18:04, if I remember correctly. So in 4 weeks I've put that much, 600 miles. But looking sexy as ever. And those lines, ugh, absolutely beautiful. Well, guys, hope you like the mods. Hope you enjoy the video. And if you're ever deciding and you're a first-time rider and what type of bike you should get, hands down the Yamaha R3. Great experience, a lot of fun, plenty of bike, plenty of oomph. I even got that there's that B&M filters, like the K&M version for this bike. I ordered it from TST Industries when I got my Core CORE steel braided brake lines. I went ahead and they had the filter, they had the lines. I ordered from them. But like I said, if you're debating on whether or not to get a bike, first time rider, anything, 100% recommend this. Great experience, a lot of fun, and it's got plenty of bite, man. I've topped out at 103. You don't need to go any faster. This is plenty of bike and just so sexy. And I look at it like this, guys. You're gonna spend $7,000 on this bike brand new at the dealership. I waited a year, and they were all over Craigslist. And I bought one with 500 miles for $4,000 cash. So the amount of money that I would have spent on it brand new out the dealership, I waited a year, waited for somebody to put it on Craigslist. I seen tons of them on Craigslist. 300 miles, 500 miles, 700 miles. I saw one with 195 miles, and I missed out on it by one day. But like I said, if you got the money that you want to spend on one brand new, hold off, wait, and buy 1 year older with very low miles. They're out there. Some people buy them, they just ride them once or twice, and they say, oh, they don't like it. Fuck them. Take advantage of it. Buy that bitch and fucking do it up the same way I did. Or, you know, in your own taste, but have the fun and the experience. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking go to the dealership, spend 7 G's on a motherfucker, and then you ain't got no money to do nothing with it. I took my 7 grand, spent 4 on this motherfucker, and everything else was about close to 1,800 in add-ons. And I bought another, $900 in gear. Good helmet, good gloves, good jacket, Alpine Stars boots, jacket, you know. I went out, and I bought all the shit that I wanted the right way. So it's all on how you spend it. But for a first time rider, absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And we'll recommend this to anybody. So alright guys, you have a good one. Peace out.